How's it going, guys? This is Grimir here. Right now I'm over on my enchanter here. I got MQ2 buff me up. Yay, it's available on EMU. Anyways, but there's an issue I noticed. So if I was to have, we'll open up some tell window here. Well, you can see those down here. So if I switch over here to my other guy and I say tell grim chant buff me key. Switch back over to the enchanter. See, it says buff me key. The enchanter didn't do anything because it needs to be the name of the spell. But I have a fix for that. So we do a Lua run. Am I not in my window here? There we go. Lua run. Buff alias. And we can do a buff alias to get some output here. There you go. There's our output. So we can add a spell, remove a spell, blah, blah, blah. We can do a buff alias list. I already have a generic list already started. All right, well, there's key. So now if I tell this guy to resend that tell, resend that tell. And we shift back over to the enchanter. Saw buff me key, realized it was a spell and started casting it. So now how does this work? So we do a buff alias. I'm gonna do a show real fast. So we got a GUI, of course, Grim GUI has to have a GUI. And here's an alias and the spell name. So if I ask for GRM, she would cast group resist magic. I can add stuff. We'll just make a generic one. We'll call it, I don't know, N. We'll just do N or NL for enlightenment. ENLIGHTENMENT. And we'll add that in there. And then we can do the same thing here. Tell your enchant me N. And we switch back over to the enchanter, and the enchanter's like, oh, I forgot the letter. Let me do that again. And L, there we go. So now we switch back over to the enchanter, and yep, began casting enlightenment. Perfect. So we can add them from here, we can delete them from here, and we can list them down here with the list, or up here, so I can close this out. You can also add them down here, so if I wanted to be buff alias add with a taco. I don't know what spell can I cast. We'll do gift of magic or speed of brood. We'll do speed of the brood. So if you ask for taco, you're gonna get speed of the brood. So we'll do tell enchant buff me taco. Let me switch back over to the enchanter. The enchanter should be memming and getting ready to cast speed of brood. Yep, yeah, spirit of Shishar. Yeah, there it is, speed of the brood. So you begin casting, blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, ciao.